Hello and welcome back to the Film Posters YouTube channel. My name is Huang, and today I'm here to talk to you all about probably my favorite comedy that has come out this year. I'm already considering this a modern high school comedy classic. This is the funniest film I've seen this year, and I am talking about Bottoms, directed by Emma Seligman and written by Emma Seligman and Rachel Sennett. Now, for those of you who don't know, this film centers around PJ and Josie, who start this fight club as a way to lose their virginities to cheerleaders. And the fight club gains some traction, and soon the most popular girls in school are beating each other up in the name of self defense. But the pair find themselves in over their heads and in need of a way out before their plan is exposed. So I have seen this film 4 times already. I absolutely love it. It is going to end up in my top 10 films of the year list by the time 2023 ends. And I'm so serious when I say this. I have pitched this movie to people who did not know what it was about or wanted to see this film, but were curious what they could expect. Even though with this film, there's nothing that can really quite prepare you if you haven't seen the trailer or heard anything about this film. Because I have a best friend who went into that film blind as hell, not even a trailer, and they really enjoyed it. But I gave out this pitch to people that it was a queer American Pie for Gen Z mixed in with a dash of not another teen movie, the quotability on the level of Mean Girls. And I did say that same thing about Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. And I was right about that as well. And that was still on my top 10 of 2022. So, Rachel Sennett, you have the sauce. You really do. But this film also has a sprinkle of Superbad. And that sold a couple people. I'm not going to lie. That may sound like high praise, but this is the kind of film I think people have been missing. This is the kind of film we've wanted to see for a while, but we didn't know we really needed it until now. There is a lot of great things I can say about this film. First off, what an incredible year for comedies that feature at least one song by pop icon Charlie XCX. I mean, Bodies, Bodies, Bodies walked. So Barbie and Bottoms could run, and they all start with the letter B. Coincidence? I think not, because those three are movies for baddies. And you know what? This is a jam-packed thrill ride with effective jokes. And what I appreciate about the movie Bottoms is that it doesn't just take a formula that has worked in the past, make some changes so it can feel like the exact same thing, and then they call it their version of a modernized formula because they updated the year. No, here they've taken the time to insert certain references, be it movies or tropes, and show you why they either would work or wouldn't work in this day and age, while also adding some fresh new elements that take it farther than people would expect. And because of that, it has its own unique and unapologetic identity. It knows what audience it's trying to reach, but it also refuses to hold back on newcomers. It's an all or nothing attitude that I actually truly appreciated. On paper, this may sound like your typical teen sex comedy setup with a unique concept. And while the film hits those beats from time to time, what makes it unique is how it's able to modernize the formula through its over the top humor and its willingness to take the film all the way and crank that dial to a 100 when needed, which is so important for a teen comedy to stand the test of time. And this film has a phenomenal cast. Rachel Sennett, she's always hilarious, but her character here is way different than in Bodies, 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 and it allows her to really show more of her acting chops and her range. And you know, every time she's going to deliver. And here it's no exception. And I also really enjoyed Ayo Edebiri. I love their chemistry together. You know, Ayo Edebiri, she plays the awkward high school character. She had that role down. I thought she really shined and it was absolutely hilarious. She has an improvised scene at the beginning of the film where she's talking with Rachel Sennett on her way to the car, which it is comedic gold. That was comedic gold, and I don't know how Rachel Sennett didn't break. A plus to both of them. I think they were just phenomenal. I think when it comes to the cast, I go as far as to say they deserve a SAG Ensemble nomination. And before all of the awards pundits go, they're not going to get a SAG Ensemble. I get it. I get it. They're not going to. I just think they deserve the nomination. Like, that is how good everyone is here. And the chemistry that everyone seemed to have making this movie makes it even better. You can tell on screen that everyone enjoyed working with each other. I think everyone here brought the best out of each other in every scene they're in. But one of my standout favorites has to be Nicholas Galitzine, who is having a really great 2023 with Red, White, and Royal Blue, and now this film. He is absolutely hysterical. He nails that golden retriever style jock, that borderlines, that himbo character of like, is he a himbo? Is he just really dumb? I thought he played that up super well. I think the versatility that this actor has is unbelievable. He cracked me up every time, and his little nuances that he adds to the characters were also really well done. And they always found a way to stand out. Jeff is definitely the character where you can 100% see the inspiration from Chris Evans's character from Not Another Teen Movie, and it's done so hilariously here. Yet I genuinely think Nicholas Galitzine did it better. I really loved his role. I thought he was phenomenal. I'd give him an award too. I'd give everyone here an award. I thought Marshawn Lynch was also really good here. He steals every scene he's in. You've seen some of his funny parts in the trailer, but he is so good here that even the parts you've seen in the trailer still hit, and they're still so funny. I also really liked Havana Rose Liu as Isabel. She is so good here. She has a scene with Ayo Edebiri in a diner, which comedic gold. She's so good here. And even then, her transition from that scene to the next scene in the cafeteria, that is phenomenal. And Ruby Cruz's Hazel was also really great. I think Hazel is a fan favorite in this film because of her performance. There is a lot within the character that could lead to it being a fan favorite, but Ruby Cruz, she really brings this character out to life, and it's really, really great work. With that being said, the script itself is very clever and very funny. Some of them you can tell are improving in this film, and yet they work so well. It has, again, the quotability level of Mean Girls, where everyone's having a lot of fun. The lines are so well written, and everyone loves reciting them, playing with them. That you see that even in the blooper reel at the end. Yes, they brought back the blooper reel. Real movies are back. Films that make you want to clap again, like I just did. The film also features the crazy antics, the memorable side characters that aren't always casted aside. And it's able to have, again, that unique and refreshing sense of humor that you can't recall having seen before. I I can't remember seeing a film like Bottoms. I can see films that maybe were at their times their version of what Bottoms could have been, but nothing like this has been seen, in my opinion, on the mainstream level. It delivered everything I wanted. It didn't take itself too seriously, but it also exaggerates and heightens the material in the best possible way for everyone who wants to go on this ride to enjoy. Now, there is a part in this film, I'm trying not to spoil things, but I really want to talk about this film. There is a part in this film where I jumped up and I was about to start applauding because for those who was born in the late 90s, who had a pop rock or emo phase in high school, however you want to describe it, or even middle school, you probably listened to songs by Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco, Simple Plan, Paramore, Avril Lavigne, just to throw some names out there. But they played a certain song, which I consider to be an anthem for the late 90s babies who went through that phase. I was ready to stand each time I saw it. Like I was ready to stand for it. Like it was the Pledge of Allegiance. Like I loved that needle drop. I loved that song. And I was so surprised in the best way possible when it started playing. There's nothing compared to when you see that moment for the first time because you're in disbelief. You're like, this song is really not playing right now, is it? Because this feels perfect, but I want to know if I'm hallucinating. And it's absolutely genius. The first time I saw that scene, I was in a critic screening where if I wasn't the only one who knew the song, I was probably the only one singing along. Yet when I saw it the second time, I made it for us to be a group of 10. It was a phenomenal outing, 10 out of 10, quite literally. But I saw it with a group of my friends and they were all shocked by the needle drop, the ones who hadn't seen it, because it was an experience to see this film in the theaters. It really was. I am so glad I got to see this in the theaters. I wouldn't have been as happy seeing it for the first time on a streaming service. This film, I feel, is so unique that it was worthy of the theater experience. I really hope Emma Seligman and Rachel Sennett get more opportunities to make more films like this or whatever films they want to make. Whatever they want to make, I'll be there. I'll be watching them. I have complete confidence in them. If Bottoms is not playing in a theater near you, it is available on video on demand. Who should see this film? If the trailer has your sense of humor, if it interests you, go for it. If you like dark humor mixed in with a bit of raunchy humor, this is for you. If you like anyone in that cast, support it. I think you will enjoy it. If you don't like raunchy teen sex comedies, if that's not really your jam, this may not be for you because it does go far. But if you don't want to miss out on the movement, hey, go for it. Enjoy it. Even if you want to rewatch it, I think this is going to have incredible rewatchability. And I hope, I don't know if anyone who runs the Blu-ray department for this film was watching, but hi, please make sure this gets a physical media release. I need this for my collection. If I have to wait for the Criterion collection, just tell me ahead of time because I'll wait. But I really hope this film gets a proper Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray, DVD release because I think there are a couple of people who want to add this to this collection. This is going to make a great slumber party film, come to think of it, or just one of those films that you want to rewatch on a night in with your friends. You get, good food, good drinks, the vibes are good. That's definitely going to be one of those films where you go, let's have a movie night. I want to rewatch some comfort films or some great films to lift me up, make me laugh. This is definitely going to be on that list for sure. And it's definitely a film teens are going to discover down the line, as we all discovered teen comedies down the line. They felt like those kind of films that we weren't technically supposed to watch, but we watched them anyway. And they were so much fun to watch. They were such a great time. Hence why I think Bottoms is going to stand the test of time. Hence why I think this film is going to be in my top 10 of the year list. I love this film. And I know I said SAG Ensemble is deserved, which it is. But if we're being honest here, this has a genuine shot at the Golden Globes for comedy. I would go as far to say Best Picture Comedy, it has a chance of getting nominated. Best Actress, you gotta nominate both Rachel Sennett and Ayo Edebiri for their work. There's no way you can't. Gotta nominate them both, in my opinion. They work so well off of each other. It kind of feels wrong to nominate one and not the other. I think there's room for both. Doing the mental math right now of what I think is going to get into that category, I genuinely think there's space for both of them, and everyone else will fill out that category. So I think it's possible, very likely, especially since they're both having a great year so far. This is a great 2023 for both of them as actresses. I think they've come so far, and they're only getting started. They are only getting started. You will be hearing these names quite often. And I don't know if this nomination will happen. I really wish it would. I know he's a supporting character, but I can't really see that many nominees for Best Actor Comedy. And if I had my way, I would push for Nicholas Galitzine for that category. I know he's a supporting character, but we've seen other films commit category fraud for less. So I would consider putting him in that category. And he is a scene stealer, so it's not a hard category to buy that he just went, oh yeah, lead actor in a comedy. He was one of my favorite parts. That makes sense for a nomination. And there's not that many options really where I can go, okay, this makes sense. They're mostly all in drama. And then you don't have to also rely on so many releases from December getting a last minute nomination. Just saying, if we want to get technical about award season. But to conclude this review, if you have not seen this film, make it your mission, if you want to see this film, to watch it before December 31st, 2023, so you can include it in your best of the year list. I really hope you enjoy it. If you have the chance to see it in a theater, go see it in a theater. Take your friends, make it an event. Trust me, it is worth it making it an event. If you think this looks like my kind of film, it probably is. This is going to be a future cult classic. Mark down my words. It is going to be a future cult classic. And I definitely feel your high school self, like in this case, high school Huang, would have loved to have had this movie around during that time. And it would have probably been in my list of favorite films of all time. My score, if it's not obvious enough by this review, 10 out of 10. Real cinema is back. I love when a film you have high hopes for delivers in the way Bottoms did for me. That is my review of Bottoms. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, you can hit the like button and subscribe to Film Posers for more upcoming great content. We'd greatly appreciate it. And you can follow us over on our podcast, wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever it is you get your podcast, you should follow us there too. You can follow us over at Film Posers over on Twitter, Instagram, and now Letterboxd. That's right, we have an official Letterboxd account. Stay tuned for that because that's going to be really exciting. And it's at Film Posers. And if you're interested in following me, I am on Twitter and on Letterboxd at Leading Mohicans. And remember, we are all film posers. Bye.